Hey everyone, it's Megan from Bookish Delights. And this video is going to be popular books I own but have not read yet. And this is probably going to be in a two-parter because I didn't realize how many books I actually owned. I know I have like quite a few books that I haven't read yet, but I didn't realize how many of them were considered popular. A stack of 13 books in no particular order, and because there's so many, I'm not going to go through the synopsis because, well, I haven't read them. I don't quite know what they're about, but I just know that there's like a lot of hype surrounding them. People either love them or they hate them, or I should probably read them. So let's just get into it. Also, if you hear any snoring or any noise, it's because my dog is asleep in the chair right next to me, and she loves to snore when she's really cozy and comfortable and like in a deep sleep. So if you hear it, it's just my little puppy. So the first book I have is Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. I heard that it's not actually that great, but I also heard that quite a few people did enjoy it. So the next book is The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid, and I really want to read this so bad. I have no idea why I haven't picked it up yet. Just like a beautiful book. Like I don't know, the cover is just so simple and it's like a stark white and I love it. The next book I have is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. I love this cover. So I am quite excited to actually read this. When am I going to read it? I have no idea because I just have a lot of books to read. The next book, this has like one of those printed on stickers, and it annoys me because I hate stickers on books because it just takes away from the cover. But anyways, this is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I only have the first book. I'm getting in the habit of only buying first books if I want to read a series, kind of to like test out the waters, because I had a habit in the past where I would like buy the whole series or wait until I had the whole series before I began reading the series. Moving on is a Sarah J. Maas book. I haven't read any of her books, but the one that I do own is A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I also own the A Court of Mist and Fury. I have the first two books. I'm kind of on the fence about this one because this is a series that you either love it or you hate it, and I'm hoping it's going to be I love it, but I just haven't had the time to pick it up. Or like, I'm a big mood reader, and you know, these are kind of chunky books. The next book is actually on my TBR for this month, for March, and it is Zenith by Sasha Ellsberg and Lindsay Cummings. I've stated this in my March TBR that this is, a lot of people had like trouble with this book and it didn't like it at all, and it was just, they just thought it was like too overhyped, way too overhyped. But I don't want any of those reviews or thoughts or anything to discourage me from reading it. Moving on, I have Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. I started reading, this is like a heavy book. For a paperback, it's heavy. I started reading it. I'm on page 16, but I wasn't really in the mood for it because it was like towards the end of the month, and I had read several books that month, and it was kind of like in the burnout stages of my monthly reading. So I just ended up putting it down to read a later date, and I just haven't picked it up since. And then these next two books kind of go hand in hand because it is part of the Shadow Hunters. I have The City of Fallen Angels, and Clockwork Prince. This is book number 4 in the Mortal Instruments, and this is the edition with the, I call them pretty spines. I've read the first 3 books, and I have to say, I kind of regret buying the whole series, because this is one of the series where I bought the whole series plus the Infernal Devices trilogy before I actually started reading it. And I think if I read this series when it first came out, like reading them as they came out, I would have enjoyed it a whole lot more. But currently, I mean, yes, they're good, but they're not my favorite. So when I'm finished with this series, I don't think they're going to stay on my shelves, to be honest. So this is the last 4 books, and only one of them is, I read the first book, and I just haven't read the last few after it. So the first one is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I really want to read this. This is one of the books where like I'm like, yep, I'm gonna read it this month, and I just don't pick it up. Then the next one is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. There is mixed hype surrounding this, mixed feelings surrounding this book. It kind of swayed me from picking it up, but again, I only own the first book, so it's not like a huge loss if I end up reading it and I don't like it. The next one is Unravel Me by Tahara Mafi, and I have read Shatter Me, and I own the next book after this one. I don't have the 4th book, but I love this series. I love the first book, so I went ahead and ordered the next 2 books because I can't wait to pick it up, and that's why I haven't continued reading this series, because I just didn't own the rest of the books. The only thing I don't like about it is that even though it's like a big part of the storyline, although I'm not seeing it a whole lot in this one, but it's the fact that like some of the stuff is like crossed out. It was a big thing in the first book, and then the last book I've had on my TBR to actually read for that month for the past couple of months, and I just haven't gotten around to it because if you've seen my last, well, the only 2 TBR books videos I have on my channel, you can see that I usually pick way too many books. But the book I'm talking about is Scythe by Neil Shusterman, and this is one of the ones that has like the fake sticker on it, and it annoys me so much. I can't wait to read this book. I even have a bookmark in here waiting for me to read it. Like, everyone who has read it that I know so far has loved it and has loved Thunderhead, which is the 2nd book. I'm excited to read it, and I'm hoping I can get to most of these next month. Although I'm probably not going to read all of those next month, but there's certain books in this pile that I'm really excited to read that I will read over the others. So that is everything for this video. I hope you enjoy this. Look out for part 2. If you have any video suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Like always, my links are in the description. For like my Bookstagram, I have a craft Instagram, I have a craft YouTube. Links are in the description. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.